Hello everyone, it's Randomando. Today we're going to be talking about the Star Wars Destiny ARH Database. And as you see in that little intro thing, which I'm pretty proud of, it's for dummies. So most of you might already know this, but I'm just going to cover everything. So you obviously start out on the home page. This is the first thing that comes up when you get to the database. So just starting out, there's going to be these 6 boxes, which change very often. There's really hardly any rhyme or reason as to why a certain deck gets placed into one of these 6 boxes, but basically one of each faction of each color type. So as you see, this is a hero and has blue in it, so it's a force command, and it gets published here. This is villain blue, hero red, villain red, hero yellow, villain yellow. And of course, when you hover over someone, it'll give you the whole card. So if you're like, oh, what does this do? You can hover over it and it'll immediately tell you everything. You can also click on it and it'll pull it up. And you can just click away or click close to get away from that. Now if you want to, you can also go to the card page, which will also pull up this thing. And then you can go to the card page, which will lead you to here. Just the card page. And then you can also click on the deck's titles, which will lead you to the deck. And here you can, of course, hover over everything and it'll give it to you. You can click these links, you can read the thing, you can click and go to this person's profile. You can download it in 2 ways. You can download it to Tabletop Simulator or a text file. You can also copy it, which will put it into your decks as a copy. It'll say Brazilian Nationals 2021 Champion copy, and it'll go into your decks. If you scroll down, you can see the card rarities, which are relevant now because everything from ARH is classified as standard. You can see the card types. As you see, this is an event, support, downgrade, and upgrade. You can see the dice symbols, so duplicates not counted, so this is one-offs. So as you can see, there's a lot of money, a lot of shields, and a lot of range sides, the most range sides. You can also see the card cost, a lot of 0, a lot of 1s, hardly any 2s and 3s. You can also do a card draw simulator. Now, all of this is data for every deck you go to, but you can draw like 5 cards. Then you can also click the cards to grade them out as if to mulligan. Like, let's say I want this card and this card, so or we don't want these 3. And then we draw 2 and 1 more, and that would be, so, I didn't want that one either. And then this would be our hand, hypothetically, and you can kind of get the gist of odd things. You can also see the comment section, and you can like add people in the comment section, and you can enter your own comment, and you can hit submit. When doing a comment, you can do multiple different things along with just typing. You can also do this, which is an app. You can do this, which is a card, which means it'll link it to the card, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you what the card is. You can do this, which is a symbol, like unique support, so like the support symbol, the event symbol, the resource symbol. You can do all kinds of things in the comment section. And that's pretty much it for the base of the decks and of the home page. Really, you can click on this and it'll always get you back to the home page. And you can click on any of the titles if you want to see the deck. You can't directly like or favorite on this home page. You have to do that when you click the deck, and you can come over here and add it. Different just like or no like. I don't think you can unlike something. But yeah, and if you likes, favorites, I believe comments as well help boost your reputation, and your reputation is how many decks you can post. I think at a certain interval of time or something. So that'll improve your reputation. It'll also will eventually show up there. So that's pretty much it for the home page. There's a card search function. I for some reason search these in this card search. But basically, let's say you really want to see Padme, alright? And boom, it'll bring you everything up with Padme. How about Rex? Boom, it'll pull you up with everything that says Rex. And as you see, this is all the versions of Rex, right? Or if you want to see all the versions of Mace, it'll pull up every version of Mace, right? So that's kind of cool. If you're just specifically looking for one card, you can just immediately search it. You also have this function over here, which is your edit account, public profile, and log out. Obviously, your public profile is your public profile. I'll get more on that later. You can click My Decks. This will lead you to your decks. This is pretty much where the majority of your time is going to be spent, because this is where you make your decks. You can have up to 202 decks in slots available to you, which is a whole lot. It's not even all of them. You can make a new deck. You can, with selection, compare two decks, add one or more tags, remove one or more tags, clear all tags, and delete all decks selected. You can also delete, publish, edit, clone, and select all right here. And of course, when you select, it'll trigger the selection. You can also sort by villain, hero, ARH, or standard. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so that's just kind of cool. Otherwise, it'll just go with the one you've most recently touched. Okay, so when you click a new deck, it'll bring you up to this page part where you can choose what format. And when you're choosing what format, it'll only show the cards in your format. You can change the format later. You cannot change your affiliation later. So let's say I wanted to build a hero deck, and I wanted it to be ARH standard, which is the current standard. Create the deck and start building. Now it'll pull me up to this page, which is pretty awesome. So right away, it'll give you characters selected. Don't bother touching this. Don't bother touching this really unless you want to distribute between neutral, hero, or villain and neutral. Colors, if let's say I'm only building a red deck, I'm just going to go ahead and then it'll obviously select everything but red and gray cards. And then of course I can pick, like maybe I want Admiral Akbar. You can also sort it by dice, diceless or dice, cost of the character, up or down, health points of the character, down or up. Type, of course, they're all characters, but if you had multiple options picked, it would sort through that. And of course, color, if you had multiple colors, this is another way. Like, let's say I had blue, it'll do all the blue first, then all the red. Alright, of course, you can also unselect and select, and this will give me only upgrades. And then it'll sort it by color. You can also sort it by name and quantity, which obviously upgrades you're only going to get 2, but with characters, like with the quantity thing, it's just going to sort it by name. It's just another way to sort it by name, really, because the quantities are 1. Upgrades, you can sort upgrades the same way you would sort everything else, by cost. I like to do things by cost when building, because then I know, okay, up here is all my zeros, then I'm going through all my 1s, then all my 2s, then all my 3s, and then if I want any 4s. It also is like, okay, so let's say I want Sheehan Mastery, I can just go, whoop, Sheehan Mastery, because I know it's the 4th cost, which is going to be on the bottom. Or let's say I want Padawan Braid, I know it's free, so I go up here. If you select multiple things, it'll give you multiple things. Like, well, that's a bad example, but like supports, it'll bring in supports and upgrades and downgrades. If you deselect everything, it's going to give you everything. So don't do that. You can select events, and then there's also ways to filter. Now, if you have any questions about the filter, there is a button called Filter Help. Click it, and it'll give you everything how to filter, and it'll even give you an example of how to filter. This is incredibly helpful, really is. You can also filter, and make sure the only way to get rid of this filter help is by clicking filter help again. So click once to open, once to close. Sets here you can change. Obviously, automatically, it'll have every set available for you. Boom, instantly. But let's say you wanted to switch it to infinite. It doesn't do that for you, and you'd have to select those. And then, of course, the options show unusable cards, show only used cards, and show only owned cards. Don't do this unless you fiddled with your collection, which I don't think a lot of people bother to do. Show only used cards is because that's only cards used in your deck, which doesn't help you when you're deck building. You can uncheck this and it won't show unusual cards, but I like to do that for like search purposes and things to see other things. But that'll come automatically unchecked, and it'll be super nice because then when you're looking for mace, it'll only give you the mace available. Where if you had this unchecked, it will give you every. Oh, it'll. Have they fixed that too? Or maybe they fixed that. Anyway. Oh no, I didn't have it checked. Yeah, see, with it checked down, it'll give me every mace window. Okay, and then of course you can build your deck. Since everything from ARH is starter, if you only want ARH cards, you can just uncheck the common, uncommon, rare, and legendary, and you'll only get ARH cards. Next, there's the note tab, which is where you put your notes, and when you publish, this will be what you publish. You'll publish your notes. You can also tags. This is where you can add like red, or awesome, or amazing, or something, or like Akbar, or just something weird that would be tagged. The tags are easy for filtering your decks. Competitive for fun. That's actually a great example. You can also test, which would draw cards, but I don't have any. Charts would be the statistics, and history is your latest changes. So let's say I added these cards, right? When this bar goes down to 0, it'll recognize these changes, add them, and then you can revert. Let's say I don't want to add those cards anymore. Boom. I no longer have those cards. And again, when this bar comes, it'll come up with the recent changes. If anything is unsaved and something happens to the website, and let's say you accidentally hit the refresh button, all your progress is lost. Because it had unsaved changes, please save the deck before making further edits. So if you're unsecure of your Wi-Fi or something and you have a really good idea, you can save it. This database will not be like the other database, the old one we had where it will just kick you for putting too much. This database is incredible. It can save up to 100 cards and 300 points worth of characters, which is pretty awesome. And then of course you can cancel your edits, which basically pretty much refreshes the page and gets you out of there. Alright, that's pretty much it. Again, you can do stuff with your selection. I don't think many people do that, but maybe one of them. Your collection, you won't probably touch this if you're strictly a TTS player, because it doesn't really affect you, and it's quite a hassle to put in your whole collection. But, I mean, it has a lot of cool, interesting features. It's basically your collection. You can fiddle this if you're one of those people that only plays with their collection or something, but you don't need to tassel with this at all. Decklists. This is where it can be sorted into many different things and show many different things. Right away, it's going to show popular. Now, popular is mainly the stuff on the page. As you can see, it's going to show everything right here from the homepage. These are all on the homepage. If you noticed that before, these are all on the homepage. So it'll show first the 6 on the homepage, and then descending on just whatever they deem popular. Recent is whatever's the most recent thing. Obviously 9 hours ago, 14. It'll just keep going. So if you're like, what's the most recent deck, and I'll play that. But obviously that's an infinite deck. Hot topics is whatever has, well, comments. A lot of comments. Obviously the hottest hot topic is on top, and it descends from there. So if you're like, what is everyone talking about? Right here. Obviously, if more people get on and start, that's me right there. I'm a hot topic with an 04 deck. Anyway, if more people were to get on and be active and really chat, like in the old database, there was like hot topics with 100 comments, and like obviously Hall of Fame, just instead of comments, it's obviously favorites and hearts. Like what do people like and favorite the most? That's on the Hall of Fame. So obviously the launch winner for the database obviously has the most favorites and likes. But yeah, that's why he also has the most reputation. This is your favorites. So let's say you favorite a deck, like I'll favorite this one. I click favorite it, it goes up to 15. Also, if you favorite it, you like it, you don't get an option. Deal with it. Okay, so I favorited this, and now if I go back, click here, whatever, it would show. This is your deck list. This is my deck list. These are only published deck lists, or deck lists for people to be able to view. As you see, I like to only post my failings. And then of course you have a search. Now search, this isn't even the advanced search, and it's pretty advanced already. You can, like, let's say you know the deck list name, boom, you instantly get that deck list. Cards used. This is amazing. Like Mace, Windu, boom, boom. It'll only give me decks with Mace Windu that are published and available for me to see. If you're like, has anyone came up with an Afra deck? Has anyone came up with an Afra deck? Search. Oh, interesting. There's an Afra deck. Let's look at it, see what I can do with it. So that's kind of interesting if you're needing inspiration with a certain card. You can also do multiple certain cards. Let's say I want Afro, but I also want Count Dooku. And it'll only gave me the deck with Afra and Count Dooku. Pretty cool. You can also do this with upgrades like, I don't know, Westar? Yeah, Westar, and then it'll give me every deck with Westar in it, which obviously like every red deck, right? You can change the format if you just want ARH standard, you don't want any infinite decks, and you can do multiple, like I can do like a villain, you don't get to see it, you can do like a villain ARH standard Count Dooku deck. Okay, so this will only give me villain ARH standard Count Dooku. You can even do this, like if I want the Bassmaster search. Boom, it'll only give me the Bassmaster's What If Count Dooku survived because it has Count Dooku is villain and the owner is the Bassmaster. You can also do the decklist name, like What If Dooku. I think that's all I need to type, but I could be wrong. Yeah, see, What If Dooku survived right there. So it doesn't have to be the whole thing, but like if you just Dooku, I think it might even. Yeah, so these are everything with Dooku in it. So these are just keywords. So if you're looking like, well, what has Dooku in it? You can also just Dooku or something like 4-2 and search, and you'll get every deck that says 4-2, which I think mine was 2 or something. I don't know. But you can do like 5-1, and you'll get every deck with 5-1 in its name. Pretty cool. Oh, because mine was a hero deck. That's why. You can also do neutral or any, but you can't obviously see that. And that's pretty much that. Cards, you can have advanced search. These are all the FFG official ones, and these are all the Renewed Hope ones. This will give you to the Renewed Hope page. This will get you right to their home page, and you see the home is selected. And you can do about that. Also, from this page, you can go right back to the database. Pretty cool. Also, let's say you're like, oh, what cards are there in Faltering Allegiance? Boom. It'll only give you the Faltering Allegiance cards. It's just sorted by the set numbers. You can change this to whatever you want, like type, and then search. And now it'll give me characters, events, supports, and upgrades and downgrades. Because that's the type. You can also, yeah, you can view as checklists, full cards, all the jazz. You can do whatever you want. That's the same system for all of these. Advanced search is just search, but really, really advanced. Like, really advanced. Like, uniques. Yes, it's unique. Like, yeah, if you really, but again, the normal search will do just fine than the advanced search. The rules, neither of these rule things work. They haven't been updated, and as you see, they'll lead you to a 404 error on the ARH's homepage. So, Ace John, you might want to fix this, because the rules reference and thing don't work. This isn't just me. Next, I think that's pretty much everything that's base. But, yeah. So then, the big question is, what about over here? What is this? Well, this is obviously your public profile. This is where you see your reputation, how long you've been a member. You can put a status here in your edit public profile. No published review. A review is if I go to like cards, the 2-player game, crossguard lightsaber, for example, it'll say reviews. No review yet for this card. Write a review. This is basically an analysis of the card. I don't think anyone did this on the old database. I don't think anyone's going to do it on the new database. But if you want to review a card, you can review a card. I don't really know what it does, but you can review a card. So that's what that is. And then of course you can click and see their published deck list, which just gives you the search with their author's name right here. So obviously I'm Reno Man. And then of course you can log out. But before I do that, you can see this right here. Hello? What the heck's going on? Oh! Okay, well, I was going to show you something, but I realized I didn't have it ready. What a dummy. So, what you're going to do is you're going to go to, if you want to edit your account, which is what I was going to show you, but I forgot I didn't have it ready. So, edit account, this is where your email is going to be. I'm going to blur that out so you can't see that. Your username, which you can change this. This is an your username. something about you. This is where you could do. You could say like, I love doing bad in a card game. And then you can of course get your things, and there's like English, Spanish, France, Italian, German, all that good stuff. Share your decks. This means when you click share your decks, everything's public, right? But if not, only your published decks are public. Um, this will send you a notification to your email saying a user comments on your deck list you commented on, or a user mentioned you in a comment. You can change these notifications as you please. Select a faction color for your username. I don't know what this does. I mean, I'm a rogue type of guy, a nature type of guy. Whatever, I'll be a general type of guy. Anyway, so yeah, you can change your email, your username, something you do, receive notifications in. You can also see your reputation. And of course, you can save all that. And when you save all that, it'll say successfully saved to profile, blah da 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 da, and then you can just, if you want, the last thing is just log out, right? And I'm not going to do that though. Anyway, that is everything you would need to know. And here, just for you, Melissa Schmelwalker, there's Tiny Grievous in all this glory. Okay, bye. Yeah, I just had to do that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know if I missed. I don't think I missed anything, but and then I will also do a video on Tabletop Simulator and how you get your deck from the database by downloading it and get it into Tabletop Simulator and play and stuff like that. So that'll be coming soon. Thank you for watching.